The story of God's chosen people. In the beginning, when God created the world, He had a special plan. He wanted to have a close relationship with His creation, especially with humans. But as time went on, people turned away from God, and the world became full of sin and darkness. God, however, didn't give up on us. He decided to choose a special group of people through whom He would bless the entire world. This is where the idea of the chosen ones comes in. The call of Abraham. God started His plan with a man named Abraham. Abraham was a regular guy, living his life, when God spoke to him. He told Abraham, "Leave your country, your people, and your father's household and go to the land I will show you." God promised Abraham that He would make him the father of a great nation, and through this nation, all the families of the earth would be blessed. Abraham trusted God and obeyed, even though he didn't know where he was going. Because of his faith, God made a covenant with him, which is like a special agreement. God promised that Abraham's descendants would be as numerous as the stars in the sky and that they would be God's chosen people, Israel, the chosen nation. As time passed, Abraham's descendants grew into a large nation called Israel. They were called the chosen people because God had a special plan for them. He gave them the 10 Commandments through Moses, led them out of slavery in Egypt, and brought them to a land He had promised them, a land flowing with milk and honey. God chose Israel not because they were better or stronger than other nations, but because He loved them and wanted to use them to show the world who He is. He wanted them to be a light to other nations, showing how life could be when people lived according to God's ways. Jesus and the New Covenant. But Israel struggled to follow God's commandments, just like all of us do. They often turned away from God, but He never gave up on them. He sent prophets to remind them of His love and His plan. Then, at the perfect time, God sent His Son, Jesus, into the world. Jesus was born into the nation of Israel, but His mission was to save not just Israel, but the entire world. Through Jesus, God offered a new covenant, a new way to be His chosen people. Now, everyone who believes in Jesus and follows Him becomes part of God's chosen people. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you've done, or who you are. God chooses you because He loves you, and He wants you to be part of His family. Being chosen today. So, what does it mean to be one of God's chosen ones today? It means that you are special to God. He has a purpose for your life. He wants you to know Him, to love Him, and to share His love with others. Being chosen isn't about being perfect, it's about being loved by a perfect God and living out that love in the world. Just like Abraham, God calls each of us to trust Him and follow Him, even when we don't know where He's leading us. And as we do, we become part of His great story, a story of love, redemption, and hope for all people. So remember, you are chosen, you are loved, and God has a special plan for your life. Let's walk in that truth together.